Hello and welcome to the very first ever episode of Checkup. My name is Bryce and I'm here with my co-host, Shaler.
Right.
Shaler, say hello.
I'm here.
Shaler's here, my good friend. How are you doing today, man?
I'm doing pretty good. Season starts tomorrow.
Season starts tomorrow, and this episode's gonna come out on like Friday, so
Yeah.
immediately dated.
But we're getting into the swing of things, so I think that's kind of the point of today.
That's kind of the point of today, is getting into the swing of things.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll apologize up top if the audio medium sucks here.
It's not gonna be pristine.
No, we're doing the best we can with what we got. So without like much waiting, we're just gonna dive into the topic of today. Today we're going over preseason over/unders, betting over/unders. These numbers are gonna come via BetMGM, as all good numbers do.
Shout out, I guess.
Shout out. I've never used them to lose money, so.
Yeah, it's probably good.
Probably.
No. If we get sponsors, that could be a thing. BetMGM.
BetMGM, here's a free sponsorship.
Love you to pieces.
Our two viewers will love this. They can't wait to bet on your site. But yeah, today I think we're just gonna start with the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, we'll split it up a little bit.
Yeah, we'll do the Western Conference next week, because we don't want to start with a 3-hour pod.
It's starting on a learning curve.
That's a long pod.
Yeah.
So we'll hopefully move through these with some pace. And you want to dive into our first team?
Is it the East?
It's the East.
Okay. Yeah, we could dive into the first team.
Let's do it. So the first team, right up here at top, I think we're gonna do alphabetical order because that's what the website's got. So we're gonna start with the Atlanta Hawks. Mine, yours, everyone's Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah. America's team.
America's team this season. It really feels that way. I think everybody's high on this team. I'm high on this team.
Vegas is a little bit higher this year. They're at 46.5. If you want to take that, that's minus 150. So I think a lot of people are hammering for them to win 50.
46.5 is an interesting number.
Yeah.
Because don't have it off the top of my head, but when was the last time this team won more than 42 games?
Nate McMillan.
Nate McMillan was around probably the last time they won more than 42 games. It's been a minute. So, I mean, with Trae Young as the leader on this roster, have they ever won more than 42 games? Let alone close to 50. I
don't think so, because I think when they made that run to the semifinals,
yeah,
they were probably a 5, 6, 7, 8 seed. I should know this off the top.
We should.
But I don't know if they've ever won 50 with Trae.
I don't feel like they have, and so it is interesting to be so high on them considering their track record with most of the guys on this roster returning. But at the same time, this roster is really different than it was last year.
Very.
Primarily due to health and development, right? And some decent moves in the off season. We'll go ahead and. You want to talk about the new guys? You want to talk about the new guys real quick?
I mean, Porzingis is the make or break. That's a big deal. He's making 30, maybe 31, round up a year for them. He's a free agent next year.
Right.
So it reminds me of Laurie in Cleveland a little bit. You're kind of taking a swing to see if it increases your ceiling and floor right off the bat. He's got the talent and the experience in the league to do that for them. He could stretch the floor for them. He gives Trae another person in a pick and roll with Jalen alongside him. So it's health. And I think he looked worrisome last year at points, health-wise, just on a general, this guy, is he sick?
Yeah.
It was weird.
What a bizarre end to the season with the sickness and all the rumors swelling about it. We're not going to dive into that here because there's no need, but it was kind of worrisome the way his season went last year, and especially for a guy who's had as long of an injury history as he does. It's a little scary for him to be now in his 30s, coming off of a season where he played maybe half the games. I think he played like 40 games last season.
Definitely didn't qualify for any awards.
Definitely not. And, the Hawks lost Clint Capella this offseason, who I was never the biggest Clint Capella fan, but he is a solid rotational center, and he's somebody who has played a lot of games.
But it changes your play style. It changes the way, the looks, and the way, how fast you can move. Okonkwo comes off the bench now. They spent a really high pick on him when they got him, and I don't really know if they've returned on value so far, but now that he's a bench guy, I like that. I think that's kind of where you kind of want him to be if you're going to try and compete. Porzingis does a lot. That's why I mentioned him first, but I think everybody's favorite player on this team, maybe other than Trae Young, is Jalen Johnson and Dyson Daniels, who they got a steal on.
What an incredible deal. I think he's 4 for 100. Like, getting a guy who's damn near was the defensive player of the year, most improved player in the league last season, won the award rather, perennial all defense candidate, who's only 22 years old at $25 million a year is an incredible deal. I think the Hawks, when they traded for DeJounte Murray, they recognize, obviously everybody recognizes Trae's like defensive concerns. And the Hawks for years have tried to surround him with rangy wings, rangy guards. They traded for DeJounte Murray. They had, he's in Cleveland now. What's his name? DeAndre Hunter. They had this bevy of defensive-minded wings, quote-unquote defensive-minded wings, for years that they tried to surround Trae with, and they could never quite put it together. But I think now we've finally gotten to a point where
they locked into it with Dyson.
Yeah, they've locked into a nice running partner in the backcourt with Dyson Daniels. They also signed Nickeil Alexander-Walker this offseason, who's
a good defender.
An excellent defender, and again, also a very rangy guy, a guy who can play in your backcourt, can play the three if needed. Like
he can score for you.
Absolutely, like he's a very versatile player. So the Hawks this offseason, they just look a lot better on paper.
They have an identity.
They have an identity as like a rangy defense and a possibly explosive offense led by, Trae Young, and I think goes underrated, but Quinn Snyder behind the scenes coaching this team.
Yeah.
Quinn Snyder's been.
He's a good game manager.
He's a great game manager, and he's been behind. He was behind Donovan Mitchell for so many years. He's been the coach of like an offensive forward
and an
undersized guard. And those Jazz teams were really good in the regular season.
Yeah.
Quinn Snyder's in the right kind of role. Trae finally has the right kind of pieces around him. I think this is kind of a make or break year for Trae Young and for this version of the Hawks. So I'm really excited to see it, especially in kind of a depleted Eastern Conference.
Yeah. So I think, and Risa Shea as well. We didn't mention him. I'll just say real quick, second year. A lot of those guys find their footing. He might just have to sit in the corner a little bit, get that shot going, guard a little bit, but he could be a big player for them as well. So it's at 46.5. I think they're going to start this regime with a potentially 50-win season and a top seed in the East. I think we're both over.
Yeah, I think we're both over on the Hawks. I could easily see this team winning 48 to 50 games.
Lock it in.
Lock it in.
We got Boston next.
We got the Boston Celtics. At kind of a crazy number, if I'm honest. Crazy to me.
Yeah.
41.5.
I want to know why that's crazy to you.
Have you seen Jaylen Brown as the number one option so far in the preseason for this team? It's not great.
Yeah.
They tore down basically almost every aspect of their championship team. I think they lost a lot in their defensive identity by losing Al Horford, losing Drew Holiday, losing Kristaps Porzingis. They didn't replace those guys with proven players. They didn't replace them with defensive-minded players.
Yeah.
This season, I'm not the biggest Jason Tatum guy. I think he gets more hate than is deserved, and this season's definitely going to showcase why. Jason Tatum does a lot for this team across the board, and we're going to see that come to fruition. I'm a little worried for this Celtics team.
Well, it's at 41.5, so 42-40 wins you, but
Above 500.
yeah.
Above 500 is the bet.
What do you think about Anthony Simons?
I don't feel good. I really don't feel good.
If you told me you get $100,000 if this guy gets a stop, I'm gonna be a little nervous.
Yeah.
So that's the type of guy you're adding at $28 million, with the need to extend him.
Right.
And I don't think you're just gonna look. He spent his whole career in Portland.
Yeah.
Most of the time alongside Dame.
Most.
We got a little bit of taste of him as a number one option. It wasn't super electric.
No.
He's good. He's a good offensive player, and that's why he gets paid $28 million.
Yeah.
But over the past few years, we've had a huge influx of guards like him.
Yes.
And when those guys are coming into the league, and that's the type of player that they are, it's a little hard for some of those guys to even get on the floor to begin with. Because there's a lot of those guys now. Think of Dillingham, goes high.
Doesn't play in his first season.
He's got an archetype that's not super uncommon, but he's going to be needed to score. Look at this roster. Like, it's Drew's out, Porzingis is out, Horford's out. Who did they replace them with? Luka Garza. Cornette's out.
Cornette's gone. Luke Cornette is gone.
Chris Boucher. Neemias Queta is probably their starting center.
That's scary. They didn't want to play him last year.
That doesn't look like a 42-win team. You know what is hard for me, though? They're the Boston Celtics.
Sure.
And the East is... Look, we're covering the East today. I'm going to like some teams here but it's just Baylor Shireman, Hugo Gonzalez, Luka Garza. I don't know if they signed him back. Josh Minot, Jordan Walsh, Sam Hauser. He's fine. But that's more than half of their roster. They're going to have to play a lot of these guys. I'm going to tune in on League Pass to see what's going on, but I'm not going to stand up on the rooftops and say Boston's going to win no matter what. They're going to find ways to win. Maybe this is the year where they get a good draft pick and Tatum's back fully healthy with Brown and they add a center, I would say.
Yeah.
They add a big that they can play with for a few years and extend this. But I think that's I'm taking the under.
I'm like a hard under.
I think they got to be strategic.
I think this team has the possibility to win 30 games.
Yeah.
And that might be it. I struggle to see it with the defense coming together. There's not really a lot of continuity across this roster, and what continuity they do have, it's largely been guys that Mazzulla hasn't played in the past.
Right, like Jordan Walsh, Baylor Shireman didn't play last year.
Nope. Hauser doesn't really play in the playoffs. Anthony Simons, they've already tried to move on from him, and they just added him.
Yeah.
So I'm worried. I'm not a big Jaylen Brown guy, especially not as the number one option.
They're trying to trade him.
They're trying.
Maybe.
I think they'd move him for the right
allegedly
package.
But I will shout out. We're probably done with Boston. We're both under.
Yeah.
I will shout out Hugo Gonzalez. I'll shout out a few guys.
Yeah.
He's interesting. I think he will have to play, and I do think he could guard a little bit.
Yes.
Baylor Shireman was awesome in college. I'm a big Creighton guy. He was a baller. So can he guard? I don't know.
That's a white dude in Boston. He's got to play well.
Yeah. He might be the fan favorite for them this year if he's able to do a little bit of something. And shout out Luka Garza. We'll see if you can play in the NBA this year because they're going to need you to play. I'm rooting for you, big dog. So Josh Minot, last one. Minnesota really liked him.
Yeah.
And then they gave.
I like him.
I like him, and they gave up on him. He's huge. His frame's huge. I think he can shoot the ball a little bit.
He's an NBA-sized player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have so many. They don't have continuity because there's so many young new guys that they had to pay. Because look, they're paying $54 million to Tatum. He's not going to play probably this year. Jaylen Brown's at 53. Derek's at 28. Now Simons is at 28. So they've just got all these young guys.
Minimum contracts.
I'm going to be tuning in on League Pass to see the chaos. I'm not taking their over at 42.
I'm not either. I'd say that my last thought with them was, hopefully, I just hope Joe Mazzulla learns something. Coaching this year, I think last year people got a little tired of the shooting threes all the time, and it just proved to be a methodology that didn't work. And like,
it's infuriating for the old heads.
Last thing I'll say, like, they lost that series to New York. It was not because of the Tatum injury. They had already lost the series.
Yeah.
Let's move on to
the Zionist Nets.
the APAC-funded Brooklyn Nets.
The Bill Ackman love. Yeah.
Good God, man.
This one's an eyesore.
What a roster. We don't have to spend, like, any time here. We really don't. Brooklyn Nets over-under is at 19.5.
I think they're the worst team in the league, so I'm taking under.
There's always, you see 19.5 and you're like, can this team win 20 games? 20 games isn't that many. And it's like, this team will win 14 games.
It's the National Basketball Association, so they're not guaranteed to win anything.
Yeah.
You got to win 20 games, which is that's the little question. It's at 19.5. Are they going to win 20 games? I'm not putting any sort of money on it.
I feel real bad about it.
And I would think about putting money against it. They ended up reluctantly signing Cam Thomas back, and they have Michael Porter Jr. now. Other than that, they took 50 million draft picks and
turned it into 5-point guards.
Turned it into all guards. They're gonna have to play and see how much Nick Claxton can play. I don't hate Nick Claxton. They're paying him $25 million. I don't know if he's ever, up until this point in his career, been a $25 million guy. Has he?
I feel like there was one season in there, maybe like the tail end of the Durant.
It's just flashes, and it's like, we got to retain this guy.
Yeah, he's struggled with health. He's not really developed much touch or offensive game. He's a decent defensive basketball player, but that means almost nothing when the entire rest of the roster has no interest in playing defense.
They signed Cam Thomas to, is that right? $6 million?
He took the qualifying offer.
He's gonna score 35 points a game.
On about.
He's not gonna do that, but he'll.
54 shots.
It might be some crazy box scores because Porter will score, 100%. And Thomas will score. They might both average close to 30.
Yes,
I think
believe
that.
Yeah,
that's a hot take. MPJ and Cam will both average 30 a game, and neither of them will make the All-Star team. They'll win 15 games. Demon will struggle. I don't think Serif's very good, and I think Nolan Traore might end up being their point guard. Because did you see that clip the other day of him? And we might be able to roll it.
Yeah.
He can't get it over half court. Igor Demon.
Igor, yeah.
And it was they guarded him.
Was it an 8-second turnover?
It probably should have been.
Yeah.
But it was like through the legs. All right, reset. Through the legs again.
Yeah.
Let me get real low so I could get across half court.
Couldn't get.
Does he have to be the point guard? I don't know if he is one. We'll see. They're gonna be. Don't watch them.
This team will be
unless you have to.
There will be. I will say. Here's a more interesting over/under for you.
Okay.
Over/under like 6.5 games where you want to tune in to the Cam Thomas Michael Porter Jr. show.
Yeah, you get alert on your phone. It's like he has 45.
They both have 35 points in the second quarter, and they're somehow down by 15.
I'm a Cam Thomas apologist, man. I am, so I'd say over.
Okay.
6.5 games.
But that's all you need to watch.
Yeah.
Everything else you can just skip past.
Yeah, you have the real app. They'll let you know. Cam Thomas says 70.
Yeah.
Go ahead and watch the rest of it.
Go ahead. Yeah.
If you want to.
He's gonna break Kobe's 81. Yeah, I'm uninterested in this team. I'm under 19.5.
We'll see if Danny Wolf plays a little bit.
He's their most interesting draft pick to me.
Yeah.
He is the most interesting draft pick to me.
But I think he's probably the third string center on this roster as a day one, and that's a roster with Nick Claxton and Day'Ron Sharpe, right, on this team.
Do you think he's a wing?
Danny Wolf.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think
Is he a wing?
he's like great value Şengün.
He might be a wing, I feel like.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll see, I guess.
I don't think he has enough strength to really bang with the big guys, and I think he handles the ball a little bit too much.
Yeah.
To maybe be at the 5, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I like Jordi Fernandez, by the way, the Brooklyn Nets coach. Jordi Fernandez did a great job. Like, they won like 26 games last year?
Yeah.
Insane given the roster that they have. Now, this roster is worse than that
I think
one.
it's much worse. So, if you want to just, 1,000 IQ and be like, this coach wants to win, that's a really low. Go ahead and take the over. It's minus 110, minus 110 at 19 and a half.
Yeah.
So, it's literally a pick 'em. So,
Yeah.
do what you want, but we're going to take the under.
We're taking the under. Next, we're going to move on to a team that I think no one except for me is looking forward to watching this next season.
I think I'm going to surprise you.
It's the Charlotte Hornets.
After I looked earlier today.
Yeah.
And my eyes lit up.
It's a fun roster, man. It feels crazy to say that. I like a lot of the pieces here. I don't like what's at the top of this team. I think they will be fun, if only because they will be insane.
There's a team that we're going to talk about after this that I know you're really high on.
Yeah.
And I'm weirdly high. So the win, it's 27 and a half.
27 and a half.
That's really low. Nobody's expecting them to come out.
No.
And be world beaters.
No.
But I would argue this is a make or break year for LaMelo Ball.
100%.
In Charlotte.
Agreed.
If he comes out and gets hurt and his turnover to assist ratio sucks.
Yeah.
And, we know his play style. If it's not efficient and they're not winning games, it could be a little freaking annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's just going to still pull up from 32 feet.
He's going to take 14 step backs a game.
But he's one of my favorite players I've, ever watched from high school to NBA. I mean, go look it up. If you've never seen it, I recommend doing that. The Ball brothers I don't have to tell you. We all know.
Yeah.
This is a make or break year for him, though. He's 24. They're paying him a boatload of money already. That extension's already kicked in.
Totally.
And the culture has been a little suspect. I think they did well in the draft.
They did great.
I think they did fantastic in the draft.
I think they did fantastic.
Brandon Miller was a good pick. Any of the Brandon Miller, fan club.
Yeah.
Or you got real estate on Brandon Miller Island.
Mm-hmm.
Coming out of that draft class has been, what's the word? Vindicated.
Yeah, I mean, he's been hurt his first 2 seasons in kind of unfortunate scenarios, but I don't think that really, unless he for some reason gets hurt again this season, I'm not all that concerned at this point about that.
But he's pretty exciting.
He took like 11 threes a game.
Yeah.
He takes an absurd amount of threes, and that's what I want to see. I like young players who are shooters and let it fly.
Oh yeah.
In the modern NBA, if you've got that shot, let it fly. I think he shot a relatively high percentage too.
Yeah, be who you are.
Yeah, we talked about this draft. Now, young players don't tend to lead to wins. I think all 3 guys that they came out with they came out with 4, didn't they?
Con Knueppel.
Yeah.
Liam McNeely, Ryan Kalkbrenner.
Was it Sion James also?
Sion James.
Those
North Saloon.
T-John Saloon, get out of here. Give me all the Con Knueppel minutes.
Welcome to the LA Clippers.
Well, you are a Brooklyn Net. I really like all 3 of those top guys. I think Kalkbrenner will, by the end of the season, be the starting center because who else are we worried about starting at center? No one?
Diabate.
Mason Plumlee?
I think they'll play Diabate. They played him a lot last year, and he was honestly, to be an undrafted guy, it gives me Haywood Highsmith vibes.
Can you believe that Mason Plumlee is 35 years old?
I guess Mason Plumlee's there too, yeah.
35 is crazy. But I think Kalkbrenner will probably be the starting center before the season's done. Con Knippel is an excellent basketball player. I was wildly high during the draft cycle on him.
Yeah, top 5.
Even, and I'm going to claim this, even before the rest of everybody became Con Knippel fans. He was the 4th pick all the way to me.
I think his ceiling is Desmond Bain plus, you know.
Ish, yeah. I get what you're
Not
saying.
exactly, but his frame is what I'm thinking of. He's a good basketball player, and he just looks like a football player a little bit.
He's an absolute connector.
Yes.
And teams need connectors. Like, everybody's always worried about, like, I want superstars. We're shooting for superstars. It's like, do you not realize that you need a guy who can just shoot, pass, dribble, and defend, do everything for you? Like, Con Knippel is that guy, and this roster needs that guy. They have enough characters who, we just talked about Brandon Miller is probably going to take like 14 threes a game or something insane. Like, LaMelo Ball might do the same. They have enough gunners already.
Miles Bridges guns.
Miles Bridges guns.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
Or whatever he did.
Did some bad shit.
Yeah. He's so good that they haven't been able to do, you know, crap about it. And not trying to get, we can edit this out. Not trying to get demonetized.
We're not getting demonetized. Yeah. No, I think, this roster's, it's just,
I'm taking the over.
It's not very good, but it's better than 27 and a half.
Yeah,
they will be a fun watch.
Yeah.
Like, everyone knows, also, like, Eric Collins and Del Curry, like, on the call, like, incredible duo.
The GOAT.
They're going to be so much fun. Also, quick shout out, Trey Mann, former Thunder legend.
Had to do it.
Got an extension this offseason. If you haven't watched Trey Mann highlights and you fancy yourself a basketball fan, please do yourself a favor and go watch some.
Squint your eyes, you might think it's Allen Iverson.
You might think it's Allen Iverson. He plays with an untucked jersey. He's got the braids and he does crazy step backs. Trey Mann is awesome.
Got that ball on a string.
Got the ball on a string. So yeah, this roster is rough. I don't think they'll be good defensively. The center spot is a question.
They don't have one.
But they run and gun enough, and I think given health to Brandon Miller and LaMelo Ball, hopefully, fingers crossed, they'll be better than a 28-win team. They might win 34 games. You know, I'm not saying they'll be a playoff team, but
I agree.
Better than 27 and a half.
I agree.
All right, we're going to keep things rolling. We're moving to a team that is, in the last month, become very near and dear to my heart.
Mm-hmm.
They're mine, they're yours, they're America's Chicago Bulls.
They're Midwest team.
The Midwest team to beat, in my opinion. 33 and a half over under.
Yeah.
That's a low number.
Yeah.
They won 39 games last season.
Yeah. I'll let you go first. To preface this, Bryce is... Look, we're stationed out of Indianapolis.
Yeah.
But he is a Thunder fan, so... congratulations to you, I guess.
We had a good season.
But I know why you're high on this team. I'll let you go first.
Yeah. So they won 39 games last season. They were able to get rid of DeMar DeRozan. They got rid of Zach LaVine. And as soon as they did those two things, particularly trading LaVine, they became an incredible offense, and they played with incredible pace in the back half of last season. Now, again, to preface this all, I am of the opinion that you shouldn't take back half of the season stats super seriously,
right,
because after the All-Star break, a lot of teams are like, F this, we're tanking, we're not going to win any more games. So it can become a bit of a jumbled mess when half of the league isn't trying anymore.
Or load managing.
But still, the Bulls drastically jumped, right, to an incredible offense that played with pace, which was playing to their strengths. They put the ball in the hands of Josh Giddey and Kobe White and said, go out there, do your thing, and like they won some legit games. Like my mind goes first to that game against the Lakers.
Yeah.
Where Josh Giddey hits the half court shot to win. I think given an entire season where they're not mired in this Zach LaVine era of him being the primary scorer, where they play with pace, there's further continuity, and they just fully entrust Josh Giddey and Kobe White to lead this team. I think, and also we have to remember that like the Pacers and the Celtics are both going to be much worse. And the bottom of there's not really teams outside of like Orlando that got demonstrably better that were in the Bulls' range. You could say the Hawks in Orlando, but there's no teams below the Bulls last year that are vaulting up above them, and there's two teams ahead of them that are coming down to their level.
They have been perennial play-in teams for a long time.
For a long time.
So in order for them to make this jump, identity change. I think it's capable of happening with what you were talking about. I think Giddey has a lot to prove this year to the NBA world in general.
Yes.
People that pay attention, were watching the whole season. You're right. They put the ball in Giddey and White's hands. Their offense became much better.
Yeah.
But as we're looking at this cap table here, this is the last year Vucevic will be on the books.
Right.
That's going to be huge for them. I don't know who their starter is at the 5. Is it Vucevic still? God, please no.
I think it is, because it's not Zach Collins.
I just don't. If that's what it is, I'm out.
Yeah, I get it.
I'm Mark Cuban Shark Tanked out. And I don't know. Their ownership has been complacent with mediocrity and decency, and they lucked in to a Caruso swap that got them a guy that was honestly playing. We just saw how good Shea is.
Yeah.
He's the MVP of this league coming into this year, and they needed to put the ball in Matt MFer's hands.
Yeah, absolutely.
And with all the stuff that happened with Giddey externally, they got him out there for Caruso. They won the trade.
Yeah.
Initially, in a lot of people's eyes, and now Giddey has something to say this year.
Yeah.
Being empowered to be the leader of this, backcourt. So I understand, and maybe I just come out wrong, but this front court scares me. Patrick Williams puts fear into me always, and Jalen Smith. Buzelis is the fun one.
Buzelis is, I think, where I'm very high on Josh Giddey. I always have been. Of course, he played with the Thunder for 3 seasons, and I was always high on him. I was high on him pre-draft. I think there is a good basketball player in there. His weaknesses are very easy to see, but I don't think anybody ever talks about his strengths. Buzelis is the switch for me. He's where I go from this team wins 32 games to this team wins 40 games, like they almost did last year. I think Matas Buzelis, again, swept under the rug. He got a lot better in the back half of last season because Billy Donovan finally decided to start playing him. I think there's a lot of questions about him as a ball handler and an on-ball scorer. He's shown some stuff in the preseason that's been very interesting. He's been very efficient. His three-point shooting looks good. Because of his frame, he's a defensive interrupter type of player, although I don't think he's super laterally quick or he doesn't have an advanced defensive mind, but he makes things happen.
And he's long enough and athletic enough to make up for that this season.
Right. I'm projecting a big leap from Matas.
Yeah. I think if they win 34 games, it's because you are able to go to him.
Yeah.
You're able to get him an outlet pass or an entry pass, and he's able to decisively operate offensively as a tertiary or even primary engine for stretches of games that end up resulting in wins.
Yeah.
And maybe he's able to get to the line a little bit. We're projecting growth. I think it'll happen with him, but in order for them to win games, he's going to be a huge part of that.
Yeah.
I'm timidly going to take the under.
Okay. I totally understand. The roster doesn't look very impressive when you look at it. It's the Chicago Bulls. They have a history of failure. I totally get the hesitancy. I just think in a weak Western Conference, like
Yeah.
if the Bulls don't find a way to win 34 games, then just get rid of the franchise. Just move it. Like, if they can't make it happen, you know what I mean.
All right, we're a third of the way through the East.
Third of the way through the East. Yeah. There will be. I feel like all the teams so far outside of the Nets, are kind of interesting. I think some of these will move with a little more pace as we
like
we
maybe
go
this
along.
team.
Maybe this team, because I don't think there's a whole lot to talk about that has already been said. We're going to talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers.
56 and a half.
56 and a half. How many did they win? 60 games last season?
I think they did.
I think they did. Again, largely the same team as last season. The Lonzo Ball trade in the offseason. Hey, we still got Lonzo Ball believers. I know you just said you're a Ball brother lover.
Well, hey now.
Hey now. But pretty much the same team as last season. I think at 56 and a half, I'm a pretty easy over.
They won 48 games last year.
What? No, they didn't. The Cavs?
I don't know why it would.
Yeah,
They showed me 2023-24 first.
That's
Why?
why.
They won 64 games last year.
Yeah.
We can edit that out.
Yeah. 64 games is a lot.
They were unstoppable during massive stretches of the regular season.
Yeah.
They had the thing on their broadcast that said the difference.
The difference.
Net, like, you know.
Doing math for the viewer.
Yeah.
What an awful score bug.
Doing Bill Nye stuff.
Doing Bill Nye type. Yeah, I mean, this is like the same roster as last year. They will probably be good again. Kenny Atkinson in his first season did a lot of interesting things to develop their offense. It's a make or break season for them. If they somehow manage to.
Is it though?
If this team flames out in this.
Yeah.
In the semifinals again,
yeah.
You got to be thinking about who they'd be losing to, right? Like, this team's going to be a top 2 seed in the Eastern Conference, most likely, given that Donovan Mitchell doesn't tear his ACL. This team's going to be a top 2 seed in the Eastern Conference. That means in the second round, you're losing to, one of the Pistons or the Hawks or the Magic.
They got a lot of money into these guys. Mobley's at 46. Actually, it's identical with Donovan and Evan. They're both making $46,394,100. Identical contracts, but those are huge, and they're warranted. But then they have 40 in Garland. They got 23 in Hunter. They got 20 in Jarrett. They got 16 in Strus. And so the bottom of their roster is all
men guys.
Yeah, Porter Jr., who I like.
Craig Porter.
Larry Nance for some reason. Thomas Bryant for some reason. Jalen Tyson, Dean Wade, Sam Merrill, Lonzo. That's their roster.
Yeah.
I think Lonzo, look, he's replacing Ty Jerome. Ty Jerome's out. He's a big deal for them. There's a lot of continuity. They've got all their guys at the top of their cap sheet locked into their starting lineups.
Yeah.
It's not anything funky like with Minnesota where they're paying Naz Reid 30, but he's playing off the bench. And
right.
They've got a balanced roster. It's continuity from coaching staff down. And they didn't seem to have any problems in the regular season, kind of coasting by with they won 64. It's at 56 and a half. I'm not going to be super wild and crazy with this. I'm just going to trust that they're going to do that. So I don't know what they're going to do in the playoffs. I never do. I don't know if they do.
I think
they pee their pants a little bit, to be honest. But I'm going to take the over and not think about it too much.
Yeah, I'm taking the over. We'll worry about the playoffs when they come, but for the regular season at 56 and a half, I think they could win 60 games again. I wouldn't be surprised.
If they don't, I don't know. Yeah. If they don't, then they probably won't go that far in the playoffs anyways. And Donovan's probably going to want to go to New York.
Right. Yeah. And we're going to move on to our next team, another team that I and many others are relatively high on, the Detroit Pistons.
Detroit basketball.
Oh yeah. I want to know how you're feeling about this team because I don't think we've talked about them much.
Yeah, we haven't. So the over/under's at 46.5.
Another good number.
That is, to your layman NBA viewer over the last 25 years since Ben Wallace, that's probably a tad high.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not, privy. But
it's a high number.
But I'm just gonna come out and say I'm taking the over.
Whoa.
This is a podcast about the East, and with the Celtics and the Pacers, going through obvious, I guess, transition years. This is an opportunity for Detroit to establish themselves in this conference this year and going forward. A lot of that has to do with Cade Cunningham.
Yeah.
Age 24, he's making $46 million a year for this team now.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the top 25 players in the league.
Top 15?
Yeah. And if you don't know, played at Montverde High School. His team he played on one of the best high schools.
The most stacked high school team of all time.
The dude's a winner. But he does it in a way that I think is incredibly sustainable. It's not like I don't want anybody to get injured, but he has the type of play style that I don't think relies on too much of anything. I think he's just a good basketball player.
So savvy.
Yeah, he gets to the rim with ease, but it's not like he's Ja Morant, like detonating on people. He can,
no. Yeah.
but he is just really good, and I would love for him to be the point guard of my team.
He's a huge frame. He's huge. He's big.
He's 6'6".
He's bigger than you think. And he uses his body really well. I enjoy watching Cade play. Super
physical. He's not a bad defender. I'm not saying he's good.
Not bad.
But he's not a bad defender. He's a good rebounder. Like we said, he's big.
Yeah.
He could bump. He can get to the line. He can make his free throws.
He's a good shooter.
He's a good shooter. He's not one of the best, but he can score. He's not going to have a problem doing that. There is some shakeup. I would say not necessarily like anything tumultuous, but with the Malik Beasley thing.
Maybe a vibes shakeup more than anything than like on-court product shakeup.
But there's some new guys in here. Bickerstaff, who used to coach in Cleveland, brought Karras back.
Right, yeah.
He will, whether you like it or not, be a significant rotation player, and he's fine.
It's the Dennis Schroeder replacement.
Ivy's hurt to start the year.
Sucks. I hate that.
But they've got, when they had to make up for, we just extended Malik Beasley and he gambled on everything. They had to figure out what to do, so they signed LeVert and they signed one of my favorite players in the NBA, Duncan Robinson. For no reason,
love Duncan Robinson.
I love Duncan Robinson. He is 31 now. I did not know that. I guess he was really old when he came into the league.
Yeah, probably like 25, 26.
Yeah. But one of the best three-point shooters in the league. He will space the floor.
Absolutely.
He'll probably play a decent amount, and I don't think he's like terrible.
There's really no difference between him and Malik Beasley to me.
Not at all.
Malik Beasley is a pretty abhorrent defender. Like Duncan Robinson might have more ball handling ability than Malik Beasley.
But yeah, I mean, they were good last year, and Ivy didn't play a lot. He's going to start the year injured, but let's hope that he ends up being able to come back 15, 20 games in the year and play most of the rest of it. He will contribute when he's on the floor. Whether you hate Tobias Harris or not, I don't know why you would. But he's pretty, I think people are probably pretty neutral on him. He makes $27 million, so it's not the best roster imaginable.
Well,
but
the reason to be optimistic on this team is that they were horrific, right, 2 seasons ago.
Yeah.
They went one off season, added shooting around Cade Cunningham.
Just what they needed to do.
And won like 20 more games. Just by adding Tim Hardaway Jr., Tobias Harris, and Malik Beasley.
Yeah.
They won like what, almost 25 more games or something? Like
Yeah.
Insane improvement in one off season without adding like a marquee all-star to your team. While like you said, Jaden Ivey was injured like all of last season.
Which arguably allowed Malik Beasley to get the usage that he got and
Sure.
blow up and have one of the best shooting seasons individually ever. So
Yeah.
you replace that with one of the best pure shooters in the world with Duncan, who also can't really maybe defend at an insane level. I don't think it's gonna, I actually kind of like it because you have LeVert as well with the same amount of money that you were gonna give it all to Malik for.
Yeah.
Scroll down a little bit, looking at the rest of this. I like a lot of these individual names. Asar is a huge part of their team. Duran is a huge part of their team, who they haven't extended yet on that rookie scale. But
Neither him or Ivy.
But he'll probably get that, I would imagine, this year.
I don't have a number in my mind. I think I'm gonna be a little mad at whatever Jalen Duren makes. I am optimistic on this team. I'm not super optimistic on Jalen Duren, or maybe I should say I'm not optimistic on the Jalen Duren Asar Thompson thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think, and you saw this in the playoffs when they were playing New York. Both of those guys kind of like to be in the same spots on the court.
Yeah.
They both like to hide out in the dunker spot. They both like to be, the pick and roll partner for Cade. Like they like to fly at the rim and roll hard and leverage against people. I think those guys kind of operate in the same spaces on offense, and that's a problem that the Pistons are going to have to figure out eventually, because as of right now, both of those guys are non-shooters.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to project winning at the highest level.
Yeah, we need to get Duren a push shot or something.
Just something. And I think he's going to be extended at like a crazy, I think Jalen Duren will probably make almost $30 million a year.
That's what I was going to say, yeah.
And I think that's probably too much for a center that's not, again, he's not a great defender. He'll block shots and it looks flashy, but...
One and done out of Penny Hardaway's squad in Memphis.
Yeah.
Was pretty raw, and I think he came into the league and was incredibly impactful. Double-double guy. He's going to rebound the ball for you. He's a freak, honestly, athletically, and he's just a big bulldog. But your point is taken with the spacing.
Yeah.
There's obvious spacing that they added with the shooters, but spacing means a little bit more than just that.
There's still more to add, right?
And Isaiah Stewart's going to act a fool a few games, and they're bought into him.
I can't wait. I
like them.
Isaiah Stewart's a show.
I'm gonna take the 46.5 over, which is currently plus money. That's probably for a reason. People are being a little safe, and it's a little bit high of a number, but I'm gonna trust Cade. I think he's gonna establish himself I think he will be an all-star this year. Granted, he's healthy. And the East is just up for a couple of those spots to be taken. So I hope that they solidify themselves as a defensive-minded, balanced team that will be in the East's fixtures over the next 5 or so years with this group of guys that they've built.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to disagree with you here. I'm going to take the under. Not because I think they'll win like 46 games. We'll see. I imagine that Duncan Robinson and Karis LeVert will slide in nicely as Malik Beasley and Dennis Schroeder replacements. But I'm bummed out that Jaden Ivey's hurt to start the season. I really want to see those two continue, Cade and Jaden Ivey, to continue to develop chemistry with one another, and
maybe Marcus Sasser and Ron Holland can make up some of those minutes and be interesting.
I'm a Ron Holland fan. I think this team will be super fun to watch. Katie Cunningham is a wickedly interesting player to watch. He's very smart. They will be good. I'm going to take the under on 46.5 though.
Yeah, I think Kate's a machine. I'm going to take the over.
Cool. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to a team very near and dear to this podcast.
I guess, yeah. This year, we'll talk about it.
I want to give you the floor to start. We're going to talk about the Pacers.
Yeah.
Both of our hometown teams.
Yep.
As said previously, I'm a Thunder fan, but
congratulations, man.
Yeah, but I love the Pacers. I grew to love them even more last season. I'm gonna let you ISO on this one for a sec.
Okay, yeah, I think I've got to start it off by saying that we're at 37 and a half. That's not a winning record. It's obvious why. Tyrese is out for the season. Miles Turner is a Milwaukee Buck, which we'll talk about later. But I think I'll start it with that. Obviously, Tyrese, you can't do anything about injuries. He's out for the year. Miles he was the longest tenured Pacer coming into that run. I think we really could have used his help when we didn't necessarily get it this playoff run, which grew some resentment.
Yeah.
He's certainly had some resentment with the Pacers for being allegedly thrown into trade packages and tested with organizations over the years that he was here, whether we were going to sign Ayton to that max deal. And there are things that Miles probably had serious gripes with. So when he had the opportunity to go anywhere, I don't necessarily think it was like, I'm going to go to the Bucks because he got the money. Happy for him. But Tyrese and our guards had a lot to do, I think, over the last couple years with his shot opportunities, or at least never even have to think twice about getting shot opportunities.
Right, they generated a lot.
And we'll talk about the Bucks later, but they famously don't have a point guard. So Giannis is their point guard. So we'll see how that works. It's a big loss for the Pacers, and I think it plays into the win total that they have us at. I think if it was just we're running it back with Miles and Tyrese is out, we'd probably be at around 40 and a half, 41 and a half. We're going to be playing a committee. Not we. I'm not a part of the organization, but the Pacers are going to be playing a multitude of guys to make up for those minutes. You've got to have a big out there. People might have forgot, but Isaiah Jackson is an NBA player. He's had a rough bout with injuries. He's been in and out his entire career, but I think he's going to slot in and give you what a center needs to give you if he needs to be the starter. Jay Huff, James Wiseman, Obi Toppin, who was the de facto center in a lot of stretches throughout the year, kind of just playing basketball on the floor.
Obi Pascal front court was kind of awesome last year.
Yeah, you don't really need a traditional center if you don't need one when you're on the floor and you're winning a stretch. So you can kind of get creative with it. I don't think it's going to be as like deathly of a blow that people are worried about, or the hoopla that was made about the Miles transaction. Good for him, but we'll figure it out. Hopefully one of these guys will present themselves, and there's many guys who will get a chance. Tony Bradley's still on this roster, and he famously made his name known as a person. We signed him off the street.
Yeah.
And he was able to guard and rebound. So we'll figure it out. That plays into the win total. I think Nembhard and Mathurin have the ability to earn themselves all-star selections this year. It's a huge year for both. Nembhard's going to be pushed to the brink like Thibodeau did with his Knicks. He's going to play a shit ton of minutes. So we'll see Siakam. People forget about him all the time. I forget that he's on our team sometimes, and I delight and rejoice. He is a dude. He's at the end of the peak of his career, and he's in a system that is catered to him. Really, you run the floor, he's unstoppable when he gets to a spot. So it's at 37 and a half. I think we're gonna make the playoffs this year. So I think we're gonna make the playoffs. I'm not saying that we're gonna be a 5 seed even, but at least the play-in. They just are able to win games with the way that they play. They're trying to win games as well, but they figure it out. The win total last year was pretty similar, and we went to the finals last year.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think this team is just going to forget how to defend. I don't think they're going to forget the will to win. They have a coach that's getting up there, and they want to strike the pot whenever they can. So I don't think we're just going to be strategic and go get a draft pick. What do we do with draft picks? We put them in the doghouse and we sit them, and we don't really, look at Jarris. Look at,
Yeah.
we're not the team that's like super eager to play young guys if we have guys to play.
No.
So we have guys to play this year. A big part of our identity is gone for this season, but I don't think it's the actual identity. I think the actual identity is ball continuity, or what's the term?
Well, like they played together, right? Like
Yeah.
this team was centered around Tyrese Halliburton, but they had a very identifiable, unselfish style of play that was led by Tyrese. Of course, he was the engine, but it wasn't in the same way. It's not heliocentric like the way that Luka was, or the way James Harden was. Like it was a very like by committee style of play.
To the extent that the only comparisons are like Steve Nash Suns, Spurs.
Yeah, I'm not even sure there was a comparison for like what we saw last year.
Yeah.
Because it was just, I mean, the amount of options that they ran in any given play was beyond insane. They'd run through like 6 offensive sets in like a single possession. Like that's insane.
Yeah.
And that can only happen when the entire team is on board and the entire team is working towards the goal of like playing with continuity. So.
But I think playing with the rim running center that just runs the floor and they're just going to rotate him in and out versus like, oh, Miles just crossed half court and he wants the ball at the top of the key. Let's get him a 3 whether it goes in or not so that he's fine.
Yeah.
We don't have to worry about that. It's just like Rick will pull players and bring players in. He'll keep the rotations flying, especially with this committee. So I think it's going to be a lot of Obi. And maybe he's just our de facto center. I think we'll be able to sum it up. I don't know if it's going to be, vying for a draft pick type year. So that number indicates, 37.5 indicates they're not going to make the playoffs and they're going to try to get a lottery pick. I disagree. So I'm taking the over. I don't know how much over it's going to be, but I could definitely see them winning 44 games.
Yep. I want to preface my opinion by saying that I respect the hell out of this team. I love the gutso that they play with. I love a lot of individuals on this roster. I have so much respect for Rick Carlisle, who is a top 2 coach in the league. Like, this organization was ballsy. They basically, for the past, how many years have said, like, we're not going to tank. We're going to try and we're going to win authentically and we're going to build authentically. Like, within a small market, that's very hard to do. And I have a lot of respect for them getting to the apex that they got to.
It happened really fast.
Yeah.
We had a weird 2021-22 year with Bjorkgren.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, after we brought Carlo in and made that Tyrese trade, it kind of ballooned with, we took Nembhard in the second round. Obi was a, trade that wasn't talked about very much for a reason. And Neesmith from Boston, just smart, small market moves that, I don't know. They've got enough of them healthy and ready to play that I think it's 37.5 is there for the taking. But we disagree.
Yeah, I'm taking the under. I
check back in on it.
We will check back in, and if I underestimate this Pacers team again, that will be my own folly. But I don't.
One time, shame on you. Me twice, can't put the blame on you, sir.
I don't trust the shooting. I love Andrew Nembhard. I think he'll be overtaxed as a primary creator, but this team will still go out and they'll play with a lot of heart. And I have nothing but respect for that. I'll be watching, of course, and
I'll be at a lot of games.
Well, yeah, we'll try to go to some games this year. So, yeah, utmost respect for the Indiana Pacers. I hope they prove me wrong. I really do. Next, we're moving on to a team that I could not care less about.
Same over under. for the Miami Heat.
Same over under.
At 37.5.
Is that disrespectful
I think so.
to the Heat?
No, I think it's the opposite.
To the
I'm
Pacers?
taking the under.
The Miami Heat deserve to have an over under of 21.5. So let me fire off this take real quick.
Yeah.
I don't get Miami Heat exceptionalism. This team has been mid. They get these like spurts. They capture these magical little moments where they have the best coach in the NBA.
Yeah.
So Eric Spoelstra or Jimmy Butler for the past like 10 years have helped give the Heat moments of like exceptionalism where they look incredible. And they are like doing so much to lift Pat Riley's incompetence. I think
he's just old.
This franchise, I don't like it. I don't like their ethos. I think the Heat culture thing is annoying and it's overdone at this point. I do not think this is a good roster. I don't think this is a good team.
It is not a good roster.
They will win 37 games or something this year, and they will look as they have always looked without Jimmy Butler and LeBron James. They will look mid. They'll look completely mid.
So, no Jimmy.
No Jimmy.
Bam has been floated in trade conversations.
Bam shot a lot of threes last year. Like a lot.
He's 28 years old, and I guess he's trying to shoot threes so that he can, maximize his offensive output. But you got to get creative with him because he's, I don't know.
This team is full of third and fourth options.
Yeah.
It's like they're...
Well, Norman Powell doesn't agree with that, but...
I am sure Tyler Hero doesn't agree with that. I'm sure almost every NBA player doesn't agree with me.
Yeah.
But this team is... Again, the Indiana Pacers were the apex of a by-committee team. Those 2014 San Antonio Spurs were a by-committee team. The Miami Heat have lived by this ethos of hard work and teamwork, and that they live by committee, and yet...
Yeah, this is a team without a superstar.
It amounts to nothing year after year, except for that one time they went to the finals against Jokic and got waxed. And then they had the fluky, weird bubble year where they also went to the finals, and guess what? They got waxed again.
And Max Strus not on this team. Martin not on this team. Highsmith's not on this team anymore. Like they got really resourceful. The Heat culture was at least bought by players that they brought in, and they were forced to go through whatever process that is. Running on a treadmill or something, and lifting weights really loud, and I don't know what Heat culture means, but they got players bought in, and they were really resourceful, taking undrafted guys and having them play hard. And Jimmy's not here, so I don't know what I think about this, and I could read off some of the names here. The reason why we're saying it's by committee is they don't. Whether you say Bam's a superstar or not, he might be.
I'm not there. He's a one-way superstar, but
yeah, he's definitely a superstar.
Not really an offensive threat in any capacity
at all. But Hero, Wiggins, Rozier still, Powell.
Paying Terry Rozier $26 million. Can you believe that?
No, regardless of what he did to fleece gambling wise, he's fleecing them.
This is a crime enough.
Yeah. So I think I like Powell. So it'll give them a floor, which is maybe he was almost an all-star last year, and Wiggins too, and Hero, whatever, Khalil Ware. That's a reason why they can trade Bam if they want to, because he has looked ridiculous.
Yeah, Khalil is...
He's going to be good.
Shout out the Indiana Hoosiers and Khalil Ware, who I was super low on in that draft, but shout out to him nonetheless.
He looks really good.
He looks really good.
Like, really good. But, and I like Jokic too, but they haven't really... So he's at $4 million, and it kicks into $16 next year.
Yeah, they just extended him.
Make or break year for Jovic, not Jokic.
Jovic, not Jokic.
Nikola Jovic.
Yeah, None of this roster makes any sense. It just doesn't make sense to me because what's our direction right now? Like, what is the ceiling of this? The ceiling, absolute ceiling.
Who's the artist that like he would just splatter paint?
Oh, unfortunately I'm not familiar
cut it out.
with art.
Gah.
But
Somebody knows.
it feels
It's just a clusterfuck.
it feels like a splattered painting. What are we doing? Like, what are we working towards? We're working towards like what they lost in? Didn't they lose? They won in the play-in last year. They became the 8th seed and
Got waxed by Boston, or was
Cleveland.
it Cleveland? Yeah.
Cleveland. I mean, got waxed, and it's like, what are we doing? We trade for Norm Powell, which like, I don't care about that trade. They didn't really give up anything, but like, you're gonna have to extend him at the end of this season, or you just let him go. We've got Andrew Wiggins for some reason. This roster is headed nowhere. It's not fun.
It's bad.
This is the worst team to watch in the league, by the way.
Yeah, it's no.
There
Thank you.
there are reasons I can find to tune in to like basically every other NBA team. We talked about the Nets earlier, and it's like we said there will be like 10 games this season where Cam Thomas is doing something that only Kobe has ever done, and you'll want to watch. I cannot think of a single reason outside of like
It's depressing.
the Khalil Ware Kasper Siakachonis pick and roll game that I would ever want to watch this Heat team. They're boring.
Shout out Vlad Goldenow. Loved him at FAU.
Shout
Then
out
he played at Michigan. They got him on a two-way. So
Vladislav. That's a sick name.
dude, he's got a personality, man. He's fun, but he probably won't play. But maybe he does with Miami. They like to do that. I will shout out Drew Smith as well. That's another undrafted guy. He's 28. Okay, but he's got some moxie. But I'm over this team. I think they should be over this team if they reassess and they go under this 37.5, which is entirely plausible, and they kind of find a deal for Adebayo, get some assets back, and rebuild this with a new face of your team.
I think you hope that Pat Riley retires.
Yeah.
I think they'll probably scrounge away to like 40 wins. They'll probably win. They'll probably go over 37.5. I would take the over on 37.5. But they're uninspiring. They're boring. They don't have a future. They shouldn't be looking forward to the draft. They're not looking forward to playoff success. I don't know what they're doing. I don't like it.
I've literally taken too many unders, so I think I'm just gonna agree.
Yeah.
They'll win 40. I'll take over as well.
Yeah. Let's move on from that grossness.
Oh, that made me sad. This makes me sad.
You want another thing to make you sad?
This makes me about to cry. Not really. I'm not invested that much, but this is putrid.
Listeners,
talking about the Bucks.
The Bucks.
They're at 43.5. You know why that is?
43.
They have Giannis Antetokounmpo.
They have at worst the third best player in the league.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he'll be the best when he wants to.
At worst third, at best number one.
Yeah, the best player in the world.
Outside of that, every
name under that is. They got 3 Antetokounmpos now.
They should just go get the 4th one. I don't know why
There's a 4th.
Isn't there There's an Alex, right?
Yeah, Alex is on. He's on a two-way.
I swear there was a 4th one.
Yeah, Thanasis, Alex, and Giannis.
Hold on, can we pause real quick and look for the 4th Antetokounmpo brother?
Well, we could just see if there is one. I'm sure there. Yeah, Atonko brothers.
I swear.
Kostas. Yeah.
Kostas.
Yeah.
Who's Francis Antetokounmpo? Is there 5?
That's the guy that runs the finances.
It's another brother. He's 37 years old. Who cares? Get him in. This guy probably has like a role in the front office.
Yeah, probably.
He's 37. They should just bring him in. I don't care.
Yeah, have him be their James Johnson. But no, that's what the Antetokounmpo brothers are. Thanasis is gonna go out there and he gets the hard foul.
He's gonna swing on something.
Hold me back.
Yeah. This team sucks. Unfortunately, as much as
30-year-old Kyle Kuzma.
I can't believe he's 30.
I'm staring. Yeah, I can't believe I'm staring at
30. as much as they are going to want Miles Turner to fix this team, and I respect the balls it takes to wave and stretch Damian Lillard
Yeah.
and say like, okay, we're gonna do something because we have to. They're desperate. They had to do something, and Miles Turner was the only something they could do. I respect it. At the same time, as we kind of highlighted when we were talking about the Pacers, I don't think either of us are big Miles Turner believers. He's low-key not been a world-beating defender for a few seasons now.
He was a block merchant.
He is most certainly not a secondary offensive option on a high-level team. I'm so worried. This team doesn't have any point guards outside of Kevin Porter Jr. and Ryan Rollins, if you consider him a ball-handling guard. Like, there's nothing here.
I got beef with Kevin Porter Jr. being in the league still, so
we all should. Everyone should.
Yeah. They don't have a point guard. And that's look. I watched Miles and I was always I need to stop saying we, but when the Pacers had Sabonis and Turner, it was called Turbonis. And I actually ended up writing an article about how, because a lot of the Pacers fans around me in this city and this state shit on Miles all the time because he makes you nervous. He's not, but what he allows you to do is play like only a few teams in the NBA can through a pure shooting, floor spacing five like that.
Yeah, his archetype is.
But he doesn't do things that traditional bigs do that you want him to do and you're screaming for him to do.
Doesn't do the little things.
He doesn't, rebound very well at all. And then what left him into like being a defensive player of the year candidate for those years was because he led the league in blocks. That regressed. It did regress over the past few years, and he's 29 years old now.
Well, it regressed, and on top of it, it's like the classic Hassan Whiteside thing, right? It's we look at block numbers, but we don't look at like. I'm going to use Chet as an example, but like Chet gets his blocks playing one-on-one when people try to take him to the rim. He comes off the weak side and gets blocks. Like Miles was just like jumping, leaping at anything near the rim to try and get it. So for every 2 blocks he gets, he gave up 3 layups.
Yeah, he's whiffing.
Because he's jumping too early.
He's getting it out of the net and he's throwing it back to us. So
yeah.
I don't even want to talk about Kuzma, man. I think you just got to read the names off. Bobby Portis, Kevin Porter Jr., Ryan Rollins, Gary Trent, Gary Harris, Jericho Sims, Taurean Prince, Amir Coffey. This is awful for a team that has like
the 3rd most player in the league.
You got to go do something that a team's never done before and wave and stretch a guy just so that you can snatch a guy who's probably going to get retained. And it was a good, shrewd move out of pure desperation, but he's played in Indy his entire career, and we had Brogdon before Tyrese, and there's always been a point guard there to get him his pick and pop opportunities, and to get him his top of the key threes where he's the last one off, the last one down the court, and go get me this shot real quick. And it's like, all right, Miles. Well, he could shoot. There's Karl Anthony Towns, and there's Miles Turner. Jokic can shoot a little bit. There are bigs that can shoot, but you get Miles Turner and you're able to play a different way. So it will help Giannis, but is he going to be that much of an improvement from Brook Lopez?
No, he'll be an improvement because he's not 40 years old, but.
And now you don't have Dame Lillard.
But because
you used all that money on him.
There's just nothing here. There's no bench. There's no offensive creation. There's no distributors. There's no defense. None. None. And like secretly, quietly, Giannis has taken a step back as a defender. I think
because he's exhausted.
He's taken a step back, as in he's no longer like the depoy. He's just like the 15th best defender in the league, but he can't make up for the lack of defense they have, and that's. I liked the Ryan Rollins retention. I think like there's gonna be.
Yeah, good job. You recognize that you have a guy.
Yeah, it's like I don't think there's anybody that necessarily sees Ryan Rollins' names and like recognizes it as like that's a valuable basketball player, but he was.
Yeah, you got him in your locker room, and you're like, oh shit, he's pretty good.
He was interesting, and like they needed to retain him. I like AJ Green. I think he's the really fun thing that they do with AJ Green a lot is AJ Green is like a screen setter a ton. He's not just like your typical like movement shooters are running off of double screens or like floppy sets or pin downs or whatever to get threes. AJ Green instead they use him as a screener a lot, and he's then like flaring, rolling, picking and popping or whatever, and he gets threes that way. That's super interesting. Like AJ Green a lot, but if he's not setting screens for Giannis, like our team's really like scared about doubling Kevin Porter Jr.
Yeah, I'll leave you with one last question. We can get off the Bucks.
Yeah.
Well, we could address their over. It's 43.5, and if you want to take over, that's plus money. That's crazy. I'm gonna take the over.
Taking the over at 43 and a half.
I don't. I just believe in Giannis at 31
Yeah.
in this East. If they don't and they suck, that's gonna look crazy from all else.
He's gone, by the way. He's gone. If they're bad, if they like miss the playoffs this year or something, he's gone.
I mean, their third highest paid player is Kyle Kuzma. What? You could definitely take the under, and it definitely might happen. But I'm just gonna trust that they can be competent.
43 and a half is an interesting number. I think they might win 44 games.
Yeah.
So I will also take the over for the Bucks. It's not a confident over, but
Reluctantly.
It is an over nonetheless.
And let's hope they're smart enough. It's Doc still that he plays Cole Anthony over.
God.
I think Cole Anthony's fine.
Doc Rivers was the part that scared me.
He's still their coach, right?
Yeah, unfortunately.
It's crazy. All right,
Knicks.
Boo.
New York. Boo. This is your 2 seed.
Yes.
This team's got a problem.
Why?
They got a Karl Anthony Towns size problem.
I like it.
They have a problem in the fact that this team will never win at the highest level with Karl Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson on the floor.
This is the year to do it.
B, they got a problem in they got to show the Bucks that Karl Anthony Towns is worth Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Yeah.
This team's interesting to me. They're the Knicks, so there's a lot of flair behind them. This franchise has been awful for like our entire lives.
Yeah.
But last year they experienced some success. First Eastern Conference Finals appearance in 25 years. Like they beat the Boston Celtics fair and square before the Tatum injury. That team had lost.
Yes.
And then I don't want to say they put up a good fight, but they put up a fight against the Indiana Pacers, who turned out to just be an absolute buzzsaw in the playoffs.
Damn right.
Still, with all that being said, now the Pacers are gone, the Celtics are gone, the Knicks should be set up to experience postseason success, at the bare minimum get back to the Eastern Conference Finals, and still I am incredibly worried about the Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns duo. I have developed this opinion, and it's I probably am not the original creator of it. There's almost definitely someone that I heard it from, but I can't place it. But I am of the opinion that your team's ceiling in the playoffs is not determined by your best defender. It's determined by your worst defender. We've seen offenses, and specifically playoff offenses, really develop over the past 10 to 15 years into it's a game of like cat and mouse.
Yeah.
It's who's defending Jalen Brunson, or who is Jalen Brunson defending, and how can I get Jalen Brunson switched onto me?
Give me a screen so I can get Brunson on me.
Get him in the action.
Yeah.
Like that's the game, right? It's find a guy, pick on him.
Yeah, and there are teams that do that really well. The Thunder are incredible at it. So
the Pacers were incredible at it. They steamrolled this team.
Yeah.
by doing that. The Knicks have two of those guys on the court, and they're their two best players, and both of those guys are players that other teams can pick on. Where when we've seen Tyrese Halliburton himself said it when the Pacers lost to the Celtics in 2024. The Celtics beat the Pacers pretty handily because Tyrese got picked on a lot. And Tyrese came out and said, I got picked on. So what did Tyrese do? Tyrese hampered down. He became a better defender, smarter defender, stronger team defender. That Pacers team was way better last season, and they made it all the way to the finals.
But when you're in the 1 percentile, sorry.
No, I was just going to say, I don't see that happening with the Knicks.
Yeah, when you're in the 1 percentile of guys playing a sport in the world, like, you can, maybe it's just hard to fathom that, like, it's going to have to take more effort than you're giving. You're going to have to lock in. You've been given a gift from God, Karl-Anthony Towns, and Jalen Brunson, but you are a liability on this sport.
Absolutely.
And it's going to take, all it took for Tyrese was effort. And, like,
all it took.
Urgency and locking in, and there are just some guys that don't, I don't know, they don't put two and two together on that, and Towns can be a little aloof.
There's guys that are world beaters and they're winners and they're champions at heart. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is that. Tyrese Halliburton has that. Nikola Jokic has that. Giannis Antetokounmpo has that. LeBron James had that. I just do not trust that Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns are that. They don't have that lock-in factor. And a lot of last season, like, this team got taken to 6 games by that Detroit Pistons in the first round. Like, a lot of their offense and their play style under Tom Thibodeau came down to Jalen Brunson save us. Jalen Brunson make magic happen, win us this game somehow.
Yeah, and he's good at that.
And he can do it for a certain amount of time, but he can't do it all the way to the championship.
Yeah, all the way to the mountaintop. Yeah. So, how are they tied for second or outright second in, like, highest win total? Because the Rockets are at 52. Obviously the Thunder at 62 and a half, but, like,
they're the Cavs are at 56.
Yeah, so the Cavs.
So they're under the Cavs. And I think I'd agree. I think this team is the 2 seed. I think they are worse than the Cavs. I think we should expect to see this team in the Eastern Conference Finals again. We may nearly expect this team to be in the finals.
Yeah, I think that fan base does.
But I don't see them getting over the mountaintop.
Yeah, you could see it before the picture, even comes into play. Like, I could already see what happens with this team, and it's exactly what you are warning, that they're gonna get picked on, and they're not gonna be able to make up for the gap that's gonna end up closing in on them. They're just not gonna be able to score enough points, while also their 2 most important offense players constantly getting thrown into screens. Brunson's fucking exhausted and tired, and tries to hit a mid-range to tie the game up, and it's short because I don't know.
Like, could you imagine, like, maybe 20 blocks of New York would get destroyed the day that the Knicks go to the finals?
Yeah.
And then
Mayor Zoran Mamdani is, like, issuing a curfew. And
then 2 weeks later, you're seeing, like, crying Knicks fans walk out of Madison Square Garden after this team got swept by. Like, could you imagine Nikola Jokic picking this team apart in the playoffs? It would. Oh my! It wouldn't even be close. Like, I'm scared of the defense. I don't see the ceiling there.
It'll look like Boston, Dallas.
I just think that this team will get steamrolled either in the conference finals or in the finals itself, and then we will have to have a lot of questions about Karl-Anthony Towns, and we will have to have a lot of conversations about Giannis. And I think that's where we eventually end up. Excuse me.
Yeah. So I will shout out real quick Yabusele. I think that was a smart pickup.
You want to know something hilarious? Did you see what he weighed in at?
He's 300 pounds.
He's 300 pounds.
Yeah.
He's a big boy.
But I like that. I like that dude.
He's still dunking on you.
Yeah.
He's great.
Over-unders at 53 3.5, and
I'm
I
over.
think they'll win 50 games, but I'm under.
You're under.
Hmm.
I'm over.
Really?
I think they might win like 55 games. Just because they play in the East, they'll beat up on all the teams that they should, and then kind of like last season, right? Like didn't they had a ridiculous record against like the top 3 teams in each conference, and were beating all the teams they were supposed to, and couldn't beat any of the teams they needed to.
I mean, if they win 56 games, that's 56 and 30. No, that's 56 and 28. Oh, math.
56 to 26, right? Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
feasible. I'm about to say over for the next team.
Okay. Yeah. Let's. Whoa. Whoa. Okay. Next team, the Orlando Magic.
That's my TC.
Whoa. Their over under is at 51 and a half. You're over.
I'm in love with this team.
Hard over.
Yeah.
What sold you? What has you high?
Desmond Bain.
I get it. Yeah.
And what they already had. This is a young starting five. You know, I don't think I have to make an argument for Paolo and Franz. They're playing well everywhere they play. Franz is one of the most important players on his national team in Germany. He's played a lot of high-level basketball. He is fully accustomed to the league's speed, pace, the way that he's going to get to what he's going to get to offensively. He's a help defender on defense. He's a smart basketball player. He's a decent playmaker. And Suggs is a bulldog quarterbacking, guard you 94 feet. You know, I think he's really their point guard with Bain to kind of run alongside him and get open looks, and they got a lot of good screeners on the team. They got enough rebounding on the team. They got enough scoring now to where they're not going to have to worry about when they've got those guys healthy, who's going to hit the last shot. It could be Bain. It could be Paolo. It could be Franz wide open. Do they have a center? You could argue if Wendell Carter is good enough, but
he's got like 6 of them.
But he's their 5th best player. So whoever that big's going to be, and they've got candidates. Mo could just start with Franz. They did that a lot last year. They could play De Silva in ways that we play like Obi and kind of stretch the size a little bit and make it work just in stretches. They've got depth.
You could run like Paolo at the 5 lineups.
Yeah, you could run Paolo at the 5, absolutely. I mean, LeBron played the center, and he's baby Bron.
I mean, Paolo's almost 7 foot. He's big enough to do it. He's not a great defender, but it could be interesting.
And former Pacer Goga Bitadze.
Goga Bitadze, who is secretly like a really good backup center.
Yeah, he could dribble handoff and get you into an action. And
he could shoot.
He could shoot a little bit. He could definitely rebound.
Yeah.
He could rim protect.
Goga Bitadze is a good basketball player.
They have a few, and I would say 4, incredibly valuable assets at the top of their cap sheet. A lot of teams would want Jalen Suggs. Anybody wants Franz Wagner and Banchero, and I think they got lucky. What did they trade Bain for? Was it KCP and?
It was KCP.
Who was disappointing.
4 first.
Yeah.
Was it 4 first, KCP, and somebody else that we're blanking on to kind of fill in the.
But you're bought in now with Bain, Suggs, Wagner, and Banchero. This is the year. Like the East with the Celtics and Indiana, this is their year. Be like, hello, we're right up there with Cleveland and Atlanta potentially. We're making some projections on both of these teams, but dude, I love that Bain deal, and I just think it's so smart. It's perfect. They needed somebody like that, and I just don't know how many hypothetical players you could think of that would be, a better fit than that with like what they're already bought into with Franz and Paolo. You place him in between Suggs and that backcourt and figure out who your center is. You can make a move if you need to go get that right guy.
Yeah.
And they're incredibly balanced, and I don't think they're going to be looking for those scoring bursts that they were kind of lacking. That was the thing with them. They guarded well. They're disciplined. You just don't know if they're going to be able to score enough to like win multiple series or like rattle off a bunch of wins. And now I think they've got much less of
what was the? I'm pretty sure Zach Lowe unearthed this stat, but they haven't had a top 20 offense since like 2013 or something.
Yeah.
It's been 12 years since they haven't had a bottom third of the league offense. That is concerning. I like Desmond Bain as much as the next guy. Um, by the way, Cole Anthony was the other part of the Desmond Bain train. So
Who got immediately waived.
And will be putting up 18 a game for the Bucks.
He's gonna have to be their point guard.
But I like all the pieces. I'm not particularly high on Paolo. I am, and again, you can call me a homer, but in the 2022 draft, I would take Jalen Williams over Paolo at this point. You could damn near probably convince me to take Chet over Paolo.
I don't disagree with that, but I think the draft class is just going to end up looking really good.
Those are all like deserving first overall picks, so it's not a bad thing to say that about Paolo, but I worry still about the spacing. Desmond Bain will help if Jalen Suggs gets hurt again. The point guard position is real thin. I like Tyus Jones, but he's overtaxed as like a starting point guard.
Yeah, he's a new addition.
Right, but the Phoenix Suns found out what it's like to start Tyus Jones for an entire season.
Chase Richardson, anybody?
Is he over 6 feet tall?
I don't know. Anthony Black is.
Yeah, I worry about the offense. I think a little bit. Given health, they will definitely. I see this team as a top 5 seed. I see them less in a tier with New York and Cleveland like you do, and see them more in a tier with Atlanta, Detroit, and Orlando.
I think they could be the 1 seed if they figure it out. I think there's a really high ceiling. I think the floor is lower than some of those top teams, for sure.
Yeah.
It's lower than the Knicks. It's lower than the Cavs. But
And
I think their ceiling is just as high as anybody's.
Yeah.
Because I think they're going to be a nightmare to play at home.
Yeah.
And I think every night they're going to guard at a really high level. I don't think any of that is a surprise. It's going to be the same. But because of that, I think their offense is going to be a little less strained. And that'll give them the wins that they need to get this over. So
yeah.
I'll take over gladly at 51.5. I'm just going to puff my chest out and just believe in the team that I really like.
I'm going to take the under
Okay.
at 51.5. But this team, I could still feasibly see them as a 51 team.
Yeah, I think that's a success for them.
Yeah. Under is still 51 games. Like,
yeah,
that's a lot.
I don't want to take the under on them.
I get it. I get believing, and I say, hey, listen, like my belief in the Chicago Bulls, who have given nobody any reason to ever believe in them. I feel ya.
We've got a few more teams left.
We're running out of teams here. We're getting through it.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about maybe the most confusing team?
Maybe the most dramatic team.
Yeah, Philadelphia 76ers.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have a lot to say about this one. Given health, they will be good. Of course, if Joel Embiid plays like 60 games,
he's going to start the year.
They will be good. He's going to start off the year playing. I think Paul George is hurt, isn't he? He's not. I don't think he's playing to start the year. I could be wrong. I can't.
I think he is.
Yeah. Given health, this team will be good. You can't trust the health. You can't trust the track record. But if this team is relatively healthy, as in Embiid plays 50 games, Paul George plays 50 to 60 games, and you get 60 plus Tyrese Maxey, I think you're looking at a top 4 seed. If Joel Embiid plays like 15 to 20 games, Paul George is just awful and he's cooked, and Tyrese is in and out of the lineup, you're looking at the 9 seed.
So their win over under is 43.5.
That's a scary number.
But you said if they're fully healthy to the extent that they could even, what fully healthy means for them.
Yeah, fully fully healthy does not mean they all play 82 games.
Yeah,
Right. Because
it means that
Joel Embiid's never going to play 82 games.
we're in the start of the second half of Embiid's career officially, with him starting this year.
I
It
think
was a
we're
conversation
further
that
than
he might retire. So he's,
He's only 31.
but
But,
that means a little something different for him. So
yeah,
he's playing with 40-year-old knees, and
unfortunately.
he's just it makes me uncomfortable to talk about.
Makes me sad.
Yeah. PG as well. As ex-girlfriendish as it feels as a Pacers fan with PG, and even the same way with the Thunder. Like, we both feel this way probably about PG.
Paul George gave me Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. I love him.
True. Yeah, he didn't give us jack squat.
You guys got a couple good years out of it.
What was it, Sabonis?
A couple Victor Oladipo years and Sabonis. It gave you Tyrese.
It gave us a really well overstated
You
trade.
should be ecstatic.
Yeah. But and he's been doing some off-season workouts, PG, that he's cooking up on the guys in practice.
They always do, don't they?
Yeah.
There's always the off-season vids, gym watch.
Yeah, and he's Brandon Miller's favorite player of all time. VJ Edgecombe is who I wanted to talk about, and Quentin Grimes as well.
Yeah, VJ.
They reluctantly signed Grimes back to a qualifying,
Mhm.
and they're like, do it again.
Yeah.
And if you do it again, then we might sign you.
Yeah. If you can average 18 on this team, hell yeah, we'll pay you all the money.
But I don't think VJ is going to have to pick up the speed too much. I think he's just he's maybe a tad off of Amen Thompson level athleticism. He is going to relentlessly attack that rim when he comes in the game. Almost, he reminds me of Matherin. He reminds me of Matherin in a way where he believes so highly in himself.
Mm.
He has the power of rational confidence, and
Yeah.
the confidence is warranted. Obviously, he knows how to play basketball, but just him stepping onto a floor, it's going to be fiery, and he's going to try to make something happen. So I think he actually is going to have to do something for this team. They took him high. They got lucky with that pick. He's a big name for them on this sheet. McCain got hurt again.
Yeah.
So he's going to start the year injured, and VJ's going to get 20 minutes, from the jump. So if he's able to show something in that starting lineup, alongside PG and Embiid, that could help them along.
Yeah.
Maxi's going to be productive. So if that's their backcourt, and Grimes coming in, and McCain comes back, and I like Trendon Watford, and Justin Edwards showed some flashes last year, and Adem Bona just got his contract guaranteed. There's guys on this roster that I'm usually looking at Philly's rosters and I'm like, why do you have this guy?
Yeah.
Why did you draft this guy weird? What was that? They drafted
I actually think
AJ Johnson. No, that was Milwaukee.
That was Milwaukee. Yeah, they took the 18-year-old that they
the
traded
way.
in his rookie season.
Just weird draft choices, but yeah.
I actually really like their draft history. Daryl Morey is a shockingly good drafter. He got Jerry McCain at the 16th pick. He took Tyrese Maxey at the 21st pick. He got VJ. He had the ball. Just take VJ this year, he should have. Justin Edwards looks like maybe a find in the second round. He's got. Drafting two potential All-Stars outside of the lottery and Jared McCain and Tyrese Maxey is that's really hard to do.
Yeah, I take it back, Daryl. I'm sorry.
I don't understand why Kyle Lowry is on this team. I do not get why Eric Gordon is still on this team.
Yeah, those are really weird.
Those are really weird, and those guys are not going to play. I guess,
Fingers crossed.
Daryl Morey just can't quit Eric Gordon. He just can't quit him.
Yeah.
I think given health, this team will be good, and given what my expectations are, I think they'll be the seventh seed. I think Embiid will play half the season. They'll look really good when he does. They'll look fine, okay when he doesn't, and that'll be what it is. They'll get to the playoffs and they'll flame out. I think unfortunately, I think the eventual reality we're going to face is that Embiid and Paul George need to be traded away from this team, and they just need to rebuild around.
Do you think they're ever going to trade Embiid?
Well, I don't know how they're going to, because if we're looking at the sheet now, Didn't
Did the Lakers trade for him at some point to pair him with Luka?
Embiid?
Where would he go?
I don't know.
How do you
He's
match
got
it?
4 years.
Of $60 million.
This is the first year of a 5-year max extension.
Yeah.
5 years.
He's already 31.
He's 31.
Which is honestly 35.
With an awful track record with injuries. Like, who's trading for $60 million of 33-year-old Joel Embiid? Who? Let alone for plus positive value? But who is taking on that contract at all?
It's not going to be like a Wizards or a Jazz or a Hornets, and that's why I threw the Lakers out there, because they're going to start, and we'll talk about them in the next episode. But they are trying to see if Ayton has anything left, and if LeBron's already out of there, or maybe no, they wouldn't trade LeBron for Embiid.
I
don't know. You got to match it.
It's too much money.
Yeah.
It's too much money on a guy who, again, the reason they would be wanting to trade Joel Embiid is because he can't play anymore. So
yeah.
the Sixers don't want him anymore.
And at that point,
who's gonna want him? I hate this. I hate this. I don't like talking about injuries derailing a guy's career. It makes me really sad. Joel Embiid doesn't deserve this, but it also is the reality. So,
but to be fair, Morey did an incredible job, I think, making sure that he got Grimes to stay, and like Wofford is a guy, McCain's a guy, Edwards is a guy, maybe Jabari Walker's a guy on their two-way, and Broom's fine, and like the guys that they're gonna have to lean on, I think, are good basketball players. I think a lot of them are.
They've done a decent job reinventing this roster a little bit, especially after the departure of James Harden and Ben Simmons and the whole Jimmy Butler thing. Like, they've done a decent job. Like, thank God Tyrese Maxey came along. But
yeah, just show up Paul George a little bit, give us a little bit something to work with. Embiid will play when he plays, and they can lean on Maxey and McCain and Grimes and Edgecombe and Oubre and Wofford, and there's good basketball players. So I'm going to take the over.
At 43.5, I'm going to take the over.
I'm taking the over. And I might actually renege on the Heat and take the under.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fixing it. One of the non-continental teams. Toronto.
This team doesn't make sense. We've said that a couple times. I was mad about the Heat. I'm less mad, but still mad about the Toronto Raptors. I don't get this team at all. Spoiler alert, I have a Grady Dick video coming out on the channel soon. I really like Grady Dick. I hate that he plays for this Raptors team. I think if you follow the NBA at all, you are kind of aware of what's been going on in Toronto. They are a team of people who are between 6'4" and 6'9", none of who can shoot.
Minus Jamal Shead. That dude's a short king.
The dude is a short king, and he's a dog. But they're a group of dudes who are of similar height and all of similar skill set, none of whom can shoot.
Can Brandon Ingram shoot?
There's been some weird optimism with this team.
It's at 39.5.
The over-under is at 39.5, but there's been some optimism I've heard from writers like playoff team.
Oh.
I don't see it. This team screams the 11 seed to me. Like,
I think 10.
I don't understand where they're going to gather together enough offense to be interesting.
I don't think that's their problem, to be honest. I think Quickly, he can score. Barrett is...
You know what? Emmanuel Quickly almost shot below 40% from the field last season.
He's incredibly inefficient. But that's kind of what I guess, he's getting paid a lot of money, and is that his skill?
He's getting paid a lot of money.
So, if Barnes was the third best player on this team, that'd be great.
I'd feel better about it.
Is Ingram better than Barnes? Maybe.
I would say no, but I understand.
I think
why
there's
you
probably
asked the
some
question.
Ingram believers out there.
Oh, definitely.
But, yeah, Murray Giles was a weird pick to me when you already have Barnes.
I love CMB.
I did too.
Loved him, wanted him on the Thunder so bad you wouldn't believe it.
But that was a head scratcher.
a head scratcher. He can't shoot.
No.
None of the rest of this roster can shoot, and he plays the same position as Scotty Barnes, Brandon Ingram, and R.J. Barrett.
So instead of getting a guy that accentuates Barnes to play alongside him, you essentially just drafted the guy that you play when Barnes isn't on the floor to be Barnes. Or it's like, well, is your team good enough anyways to like be good if you do that? It's like, well, we got that shirt up. We'll bring them in and maybe they could play together, but if they can't, because they are the same type of player.
It's the same guy.
The same
like,
guy.
I mean, you know, CMB is not the passer that Scotty Barnes is. He's not the like ball handler that he is. But same build, non-shooters, plus size defenders. Like, this roster doesn't make sense, and it didn't make sense last year. They
had to trade Siakam because their team sucked.
They struggle to score outside of in transition. They're a fine defense, but they're not exceptional. I don't think they have a clear leader. I don't think they have a clear, like, I think Scotty Barnes is the designated number one on this team.
His coach thinks he's the leader.
I don't believe in Scotty as a...
Scotty Barnes is an all-star in this league.
Did Darko say that?
Yeah.
I can see that.
He got really frustrated one night because the officiating was bad, and he just, like, blew up and was like, Scotty Barnes is... I'm using a New York accent. I don't know. He's passionate about him. I think they hope that Barnes he was really fun. He also played on that Cade team, that Montverde team. Yeah. So that's in the back of my mind for some reason. But, I've always really liked him, and he came into the league really well, and then he kind of plateaued.
He's kind of been the same guy for 4 seasons.
It's not like he's gonna, we left him open, somebody close out.
Yeah, who's scared?
Yeah, so that's I guess what Ingram's gonna bring in. I see why people, Pirtle's pretty good. I think he doesn't get treated as he's good.
They're gonna pay him a lot of money.
They're paying him a lot of money.
They're paying him a lot of money.
But he's fine.
Jakob Pirtle is a perfectly fine basketball player, and honestly, again, shout out to the video I'm going to put out, but I talk a lot about how Jakob Pirtle is an excellent screener, and if they had a point guard, and maybe Emmanuel Quickley will be a lot better this season when he's healthy, hopefully.
Or Jamal Shead.
Jakob Pirtle is an excellent screener, and they do use Jakob Pirtle to set screens for Grady Dick and get Grady going offensively. So he's a very useful utilitarian player, but again, when he's involved in the action, he's running into 2 other guys on his way.
I just think defensively is where they're going to be terrible. I
think they'll gobble together enough
with the bench guys that come in for their starters, but Quickly's a trash can, and Barrett's not going to give a shit, and Ingram can't guard, and Barnes technically can.
Yeah.
And Pirtle is going to get bodied by the best bigs, and on any given night, and Murray Bowles can guard, Agbaji can guard. I think Dick can guard a little bit.
Jamal Shead
and I like Mogbo.
Jonathan Mogbo, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
if only he would shoot.
But 39 and a half, call me a skeptic, but I'm waiting. I'm waiting to see.
I'm at 39 and a half, and I don't know. I don't know how many games this team won last season. It was in the 30s for sure. I think I'm under. This team, it's just uninspiring. They're really boring.
But yeah, they are boring. Their broadcast is kind of fun. Yeah. It's a different type of look, and they've got guys with accents that.
Yeah.
It's a little fun, and I don't think. I'll watch a little bit of them because I like Grady Dick.
Yeah.
I am interested to see if Murray Bowles is able to play with their top guys, and Barnes could easily have an all-star year this year.
Yeah.
I get why people want to like them. I'm gonna wait on it. We've got one more team in the East, and I might shock some people.
I'm under. We got one more team. We're down to our last team, and I already know your opinion on this team. It's crazy.
It's not crazy. They're at 20 and a half.
It's. You've got a hot take about the Washington Wizards.
Yeah.
Over under of 20 and a half. This team was bad.
Yeah.
Bad last year.
Yeah. But I saw what I needed to see from some of the guys toward the end of the season. I think a big one is Alex R. So, um, that was probably that was 2 years ago at this point. That draft class, one of the most lukewarm.
Alex R?
No, just that draft class in general. Reese Shago's one.
That was last year.
That was last
That was
year.
24, yeah.
24, and then, but we had
So yeah.
2 years away now because we just had a draft class.
Well, yes, yeah. Last NBA season was Alex R's rookie season, but yeah, 2 drafts ago was
Yeah. And I think for most of the cycle, it was like, well, he's gonna go number 1.
Right.
And even NBA, the organization was trying to push him, and he played overseas, and he just kind of looked like a stumbling deer a little bit, and to start the year. But I think toward the end of the year, he showed some flashes of like what type of big he can be. I think he's going to be a good defensive center.
Very switchable.
He's incredibly switchable onto the perimeter, and not in the same way, but like Chet is able to kind of pick up on a switch and bring somebody all the way down to the paint, give them enough space to where they think they're going to be able to get something off the glass and pin it and grab it and go. And I think he has the ability to like be a little transformative for them as an anchor this year, which I think is all a team needs to win over 20 and a half games, with the culmination of like name after name of young guys that I like and I'm very excited by. Like Bud last year was pretty fun. AJ Johnson, I think they got for an absolute bargain
in the Kuzma trade. They got rid of Kyle Kuzma and got something positive back.
Yeah, they took a high pick a couple years ago on Koulibaly, who hasn't shown enough yet to give himself an identity, but I think he'll be able to guard, and we'll see what he could do offensively.
He's a wicked defender.
Yeah, they've got a group in their backcourt and their front court, I think. Let's see who the other front court guy is. No, they don't. I mean, it's Sarr and really nothing else. But Malachi Branham, Trey Johnson, excuse me, Trey Johnson, Malachi Branham, Cam Whitmore, Will Riley, that 6'9" guy out of Illinois last year. Kaishawn George is another jumbo guard, and I like Champagnie. I don't know. I just when you get to 10 names of guys where you're like, okay.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of young guys, but it's like it's at 20 and a half. So I'm going to watch them. I'm going to seek them out on a maybe semi-night basis. Washington's playing Denver. It's at 7. It's a 7 o'clock tip. I'll tip in.
Yeah.
I'll put them on one of the screens. And I think it's just gonna be a team that people kind of gravitate toward and root for, at the very least. And I just don't think they have enough young guys. I don't think they're necessarily incentivized to. It's a good draft class. They're definitely going to be candidates to get a high pick. So if they want to bottom out another year and see what they can get, if they can get a Devonta or a Boozer, or probably like a Boozer or a big that they can add, sure. But they might be my Brooklyn of last year, where they just kind of win.
They don't win a lot of games, but they win more than you think.
They win enough to F up that bet.
Yeah.
So that's my F up your bet team, I guess. 20 and a half. I'm taking over enthusiastically.
Yeah, so this team is run by a bunch of former Oklahoma City guys.
Yeah.
So I see a lot of parallels.
First year OKC.
To kind of the new OKC. So OKC, when they had, we're not going to dive into this too long, but OKC when they had Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook and whatnot, they had a track record of just drafting like long rangy wings who were super raw but very athletic. Josh Eustace, Perry Jones, a lot of different guys, Andre Robertson, like athletes, plus size wingspan, good defenders, offensively raw. Now they've kind of transformed to guys who can do a little bit of everything, so can kind of shoot, although they focus more on a willingness to take threes rather than percentage. They want plus size at position. They want plus size wingspan. They want defensive viability. They want you to be able to dribble a little bit. They want you to be able to have like some passing chops. So They draft very similarly to the way that the Thunder do, and they seek out um, former
Yeah.
former high end talent
Yeah.
to fill out their roster. So, and I think this team has a defensive first identity. Their starting lineup is like on the wing, like Bilal Coulibaly will be a terror
Yeah.
on the wing,
Yeah.
and then like Alex Sarr is, like you said, a projectable, like switchable,
Anchor.
big defender, anchor type of player. Like they have some interesting defensive pieces. Um, Chris Middleton and CJ McCollum, unks
Yeah.
on the team but those guys are going to give you good minutes and they're going to play. So they will like help provide a floor. I think that this team probably wins more than 20 games.
I just think they have the ingredients to do that. I think
Yeah.
you got the veteran presence that will eat up minutes with Middleton and McCollum. You've got your shifty shot creators with Johnson, Trey Johnson, Bub Carrington, maybe even Will Riley and AJ Johnson will do some of that too. And then you've got floor spacers with Kispert and Branham even a little bit. He can shoot the ball a little bit. Riley can shoot the ball a little bit.
Yeah.
And you've got your like projects like jumbo guard with George and Whitmore is the epitome of a project.
Yeah.
Can jump out the roof. So that was a name that I was really excited about with them was Whitmore. It was like, you added him with the group on top of
It's fun.
Like Trey Johnson was a guy that some people wanted to take.
I really like Trey Johnson.
What's not to like?
He is an NBA level shooter out of the gate.
Yeah.
And it's not just a standstill shooter. That guy can hit shots off the dribble.
Shoot the peel off
just an incredible shooter. Like I like that. So they've kind of got a fun roster here. Like I'll be excited to see like some Trey and Bub minutes.
Yeah.
Like give me some kind of combo guardy stuff with them. I want to see Alex Sarr. Like his offense was pretty pitiful last year.
But pick and pop.
The shooting was not great, but there were flashes. Like let's see that develop a little bit more.
He might be able to even put it on the floor if he needs to.
He's fast. He's fluid enough to do it.
Yeah, learn a shot fake, buddy, and get yourself more acquainted offensively this year.
Yeah. One more thing I want to point out. Do my eyes deceive me, or does that say Sharif Cooper?
Sharif Cooper
is a two-way.
His dad's more famous than him.
Yeah, he fired. Ace Bailey fired his dad, didn't he?
Yeah, but he was slaying. As the kids say.
He was putting it up in pre-draft coverage.
But yeah, I'm gonna take the over, and I'm gonna take the over on watching 20 Wizards games as well.
Okay.
I'm very. Yeah. They're like one of my like teams that I'm just gonna ride or die.
I like it. I want the best for fans of the Wizards. They've been a pitiful franchise for such a long time, and I think they have some smart guys running the team now. I think they have an interesting makeup. They should be fun. They have a decent coach.
Dawkins, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty sure. I don't think it will be too long in the future before we're like, okay, the Wizards are the 8th seed.
Yeah.
Like
it's coming.
It like 2 years from now, like we'll see it. So we're both over on the Wizards.
Nice.
And that
makes me happy.
That wraps up the
Eastern
Conference and the first ever episode of the show. All right, real quick before we wrap this thing up, we want to talk about our top 8 teams. This is not in order.
No particular order.
No particular order. These are just the teams we think are top 8.
Yeah.
So
you got it first, Bryce.
Oh, I got it first. I was gonna give the honor to you, but I'll go first. Again, no particular order. So I've got Cleveland, New York, Atlanta, Detroit, Orlando, Milwaukee, Philly, and the Chicago Bulls.
Chicago. I'm gonna swap Chicago. Those 7. I'm swapping Chicago for Indy. Call me a homer.
Swapping Chicago for I have to respect it.
Yeah.
I have to respect it. So
we'll see.
Well, I think that puts a capper on our first ever episode. And then
yeah, thank you guys if you stuck with this.
Yeah,
you're a real one.
I'm not sure how the audio is going to turn out on the other end, so I hope it turns out listenable.
Yeah.
is the main goal, and
But we're gonna come out with the West after this one, and we're gonna keep trying to get some stuff out there for you guys. So thank you if you're still here. Hope to see you in the next one. We'd really appreciate it.
all right, bye.